Oh, thank God.
Philosopher dad joke.
Yeah. All right. Well, I want to welcome you all today to the celebration. Let me begin to say how blessed we were to have Deb so intricately involved in all of our lives and wound into our lives here at the UUCS. She's touched so many lives in such a position that, in a positive way, that I personally can't thank her enough for that. So thank you. Deb Jcquemin first came to us as the interim choral director and pianist, a quarter-time job in late August of 1989, along with our settled minister, Linda Wittenberg. And in January of 1990, she was offered the permanent position, and a year and a half later, the job was increased to half-time to cover the work Deborah was doing. In 2003, with further expansion of duties under Reverend Richard Earhart, the position became music director and was increased to three-quarter time. During her tenure with us, Deborah has expanded the mixed choir to 35-plus singers, created a women's choir, a large children's choir, and directed the solstice singers for the winter solstice ritual, as well as nurturing congregational musicians and engaging other local musicians to play for our services. She also shared music leadership for the UU Pacific Northwest District Conference in 2014, and serving as choral director as well as coordinating service music and other individual performances. In her 34 years with us, Deb worked with 4 settled ministers and 4 interim ministers, as well as helping the congregation weather periods without ministerial leadership. Deb left her music director position in the summer of 2023, and we're so very fortunate to have been part of her life here. So thank you, Deb. Deb did share a couple things with me, a little bit ago, and that's as an avid reader, Deb has completed over 7,000 pages of reading since June of this year. I tried to do the math, but I couldn't do that. So she's also wants to get back to her piano, where she could potentially be giving lessons again. And she will continue with her choral work as well, and the winter solstice is coming up on the 21st, right? Okay. So with that, I think we'll sing our first song.
And I get to song lead.
You're going to need to open up a turquoise hymnal. We're going to do Lean on Me. Let's see. Is this the mic?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to scoot this over just a little bit. So stand. You might as well stand so we can do this right. And it's fairly slow.
We all have this, always too long.
good. Sounds like you got a whole choir in here today. That's just, Todd, is this on? It is on now? Can you hear me through this? Do I have to push a button?
Yes. Yes. Is it green?
Can you hear me now? Yes. All right. So we're going to take a few moments and we are going to have a few individuals say some words here. And my friend Bryant is going to start out here. So, Bryant.
Well, anyway, really nice to be here to celebrate a person who I've been a friend of and known even before she started as a choir director here. I remember coming to a practice session up on the 7th Avenue, the old church, and we're wearing our light green choir things where we look like a bunch of celery stalks up there. And then all of a sudden, Herb Severson, who was our choir director and a nice guy and a good musician, decided to quit. And here comes our friend Debbie up to be the choir director. She told me she was feeling pretty insecure, but Herb said, well, with your education and your musical skills, you'll do fine. And hey, after 34 years, who could complain? I mean, she's done a great job. Debbie, wonderful. But some Thursdays, I couldn't believe it. We sounded so, I better use the right word, crappy. And Debbie would not say, what's wrong with you guys? But she'd just dig in and work with us, and soon the wrinkles all would disappear, and she'd get us sounding pretty good. So, Debbie, thank you very much from all of us.
My name is Linda Green. Okay? All right. I have to get this. This is an ode to Deb on the occasion of her retirement. Listen, my children, and you shall hear a tale of a woman we all hold dear. For many years, she led us in song. We responded with joy and voices strong. Her knowledge was great, her style was sweet. She even loved us when we didn't keep the beat. The woman I speak of course, is Deb. Our love for her will never ebb. But now our friend has left the scene, and everyone here is sad to the extreme. We miss you, Deb, and your ways that inspire, and we all love you, especially the choir.
Thank you very much, Linda. Todd, would you like to say something?
Wow, Deb, 34 years. That's amazing. I was thinking about everything the church has gone through in 34 years. A move from one building to another. At least, I think, 5 settled ministers, and I was counting 8 or 9 if you include the interims.
I think it was 4, but 4 settled and 4 interims.
Four settled and 4 interims. So, I mean, think about that. 1 music director, 8 ministers. Yeah. It is remarkable. And the thing that I have always appreciated about Deb Jcquemin's presence with us, in addition to her talent in doing the work of being a music and choir director, was that she was an anchor for this congregation that held you together over a lot of ups and downs over 3.5 decades. And I don't know if you know that significance of, you know, if people come into this sanctuary, there are a few things they're always going to see here and give them that sense of comfort and familiarity and, okay, things are going to be okay. And Deb Jcquemin held that presence for us. embodied it physically as a human being for this congregation. And I hope that in the midst of all of your talent and the gift of voice and song and music that you offered, you recognize that you were also a steadying presence for this congregation in good times and over a lot of hurdles. And that meant a lot. And that your absence will be felt as much for that reason as many others. So I just, I somehow survived, and I'm still here. Even though you've retired, Deb, but your presence is going to be felt here for a long time, and I can only hope that whatever the next chapter of your life is, that you use your incredible talent, including your interpersonal skills, to create harmony amidst discord. You do that so well on so many levels. And I thank you for it, and I know the congregation thanks you for all you've done over 3.5 decades.
And we have time for just a couple more. If someone else would like to say something. And if we don't, then I think, oh, there we go. Okay. I'm going to go back first, and then I'll come to the front. Okay.
I could say some good things, but I'm really not the musician that I think somebody else who isn't here is, and I just can relay that. Craig Aldworth and I used to take Jim Abel to choir and back when he was in a dementia home, and his long-term memory seemed to be okay, but his short-term memory was not. But very often he'd end up saying, Deb is a fine musician, and coming from Jim Abel, that is quite the compliment. Maybe Deb can explain why.
I'll let you do that later here.
Hi, I'm Marianne Winiford. I sang with Deb for, 5 years, I guess. And Deb, maybe all choir directors are stingy with their compliments, I would have to say. But it also helps you realize you can lift it up, you can do, as her highest compliment that I ever heard was, better, better, better.
So true. So true. One more, Deb.
I'm Lynn Jcquemin, and I cannot sing a note, not one single note. I can't hear it, can't do it. But I can read music, and I can slightly play the piano, because 27 years ago, I used to pack up my little baby boy and drive to Deb Jcquemin's house and sit and try to learn the piano, and she was so patient with me. And the other thing that I can now recognize because of you, Deb, is a choir that is so talented and so beautiful and so meaningful to this church. So thank you. Thank you for your years.
And now I get to talk a little bit. Just a little bit. Actually, I turned this job down, the interim job, when it was first asked of me. And Herb Severson, the director that was right before me, called me personally and said, "Why did you turn that down?" And I never knew whether he recommended me for the job or not, but I said, "Well, Herb," I said, "you know me, I'd love to do the choir, but the job was the choir and all the piano work." And I said, "I'm a good pianist, but I make mistakes when I play. And that just doesn't seem like I should have a job like that." And he said, "Oh," he said. He was such a mild-mannered man, Herb was. He said, "Well, so do I." And I said, you know, Herb was a person that knew thousands of tunes. He was a piano bar player and a blind pianist. And he played in the New York area for years, and he could play anything. And I said, "You do not make mistakes. I know you don't." And he said, "Every Sunday." And he said, "You just have to learn how to cover them. Why don't you give it a shot?" You know? So I did. And maybe some of you don't know, I was a member of the church when I took that job. That's a kind of a line we usually don't cross anymore. So I went ahead, and it was the interim position. I thought, well, I can get through 4 months, you know, and I enjoyed it. And it was a lot of fun, and of course I loved doing the choir, and it was really good for me to bone up my piano skills and get myself up to speed with that. That was fun too. So then they offered me the permanent position, and I said yes, and I've been here forever, right? You know, and to a great extent, that's due to the UU singers that we have, and it's due to all of you. When I did have the piano portion, I could sit at that keyboard and I could look out across this congregation, and what I saw was these wonderful people, so admired, who basically helped the whole Spokane community. There were counselors, there were doctors, there were lawyers, there were teachers all over the place. And I could look out and see all these people that had contributed so greatly to this area and to this church. And it just made me want to stay and stay. And that's the truth about that. So I thank all of you for being here now, and all those people, that long line of people, some of whom are gone, and some of who have moved, or whatever has happened there, for being here and allowing me to have a job that I loved. And I have to especially thank the choir for that, because, you know, you can want to be a director, but unless you have people that are willing to put up with you. And as Marianne said, you know, I've been accused of being a perfectionist, but I don't see myself that way. I always start with a sound vision with whatever I've chosen to do with the choir. And I hear in my mind it's like a vision, but it's an auditory vision. And that's where I want to get to. And so, yeah, I pushed them, but they also had the joy of all the compliments you gave them when they did a really good job. And I think many of them really liked to be challenged like that. And maybe I could have given a few more compliments, you know. But I did have really, you know, when you're a director of something like a chorus, they are speaking for you. You're trying to get them to a place, and then they are helping you get there. You don't have anything to do if they're not there. The same applies to people in the pews. You know, yes, you can enjoy singing by yourself or even singing with, working with the choir, but the real thing is to share what you've worked on and have that circle of energy that can happen. You know, where you're pouring forth what you brought, and you can feel people responding, even though they're silent. It is much different to be singing your heart out in an empty room than it is to be singing your heart out with people there listening. That's what's essential. So thank you all for being there. Let's see if I kind of ran a little off my track. I wanted to also thank all the people that were ever on a music team with me and for me. So if you would just pop up for a minute. Some of you are here. I know you are. Music team people, yes, okay. And I think of other people that are not here, but that have had that role. That's also crucial to have that kind of support. And I want to thank musicians like Dan Gore today, because the other thing that my job depended on was getting congregational musicians to come forward and share themselves. And Marshall in the back, he would come and play with the choir. We loved that. We loved that. That was wonderful. So, and yeah, I see people out there who have shared themselves here, and that too was a part of my job, is to encourage people to do that. And so thank all of you that did that. It really makes a community. It does, and it helps immensely in that way. Let's see. Okay. Have I missed anybody? You know, I was thinking over the last few days when I knew I'd be able to say a word or two, and I started making a list of people to thank. I gave up because I knew darn well. I mean, I would wake up in the middle of the night and I'd put down 5 more names, and I'd wake up again and I would put down 6 names, and then in despair in the morning I thought, I'm going to forget somebody. I'm going to forget somebody. I'm going to forget somebody. And the truth is, everybody. I need to thank everybody for just being here and doing and being who you are. So I'll end with that.
I'm Nancy Freetag, and I've been in Deb's choir for 6 or 7 years, and it's been truly a joy. And I know you say you loved being the choir director, but we loved having you. And we're very appreciative of everything you've done for us and everything we've learned from you. So we went together and we got you a gift, and this is so that you always remember us. It's something you can keep in your home and just think of us every time, okay? And we'll just put this over here.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Deb. And now we have Betty to give a gift from the congregation.
I'm Betty Bradabo, and I've been around about as long as you have. You start talking, yeah. San, you have been an inspiration, and we all love you. So here's something from all of us.
Oh.
Okay? And you can enjoy.
Should I save this for?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
okay.
Because you're going to go work, don't you?
Oh, I do, yes. Let's see. We'll be, of course, having cake and stuff back there, and I'll be opening things then.
Okay.
So, okay.
So 1064.
Blue Boat Home. Please stand.
Still my Deb, we share this blessing for you today. May you find peace in the promise of the solstice night, that each day forward is blessed with more light, that the cycle of nature, unbroken and true, brings faith to your soul and well-being to you. Rejoice in the darkness, in the silence find rest, and may your days that follow be abundantly blessed. Now, in your order of service, there is a lilac sheet which has a poem on there that I would like us to all read in unison for Deb. So if you could find that. Yeah. May the sun bring you new energy each day. May the moon softly restore you by night. May the rain wash away your worries. May the breeze blow new strength into your being. May you walk gently through the world and know its beauty all the days of your life.
Yes.
Let's see.
Okay. Our last song together for Deb is number 121 in the Gray Hymnal, We'll Build a Land.
Thank you, and enjoy the refreshments in the back.
Thank you so much, Deb. Thank you, everyone.